And for TikTok, you guys are awesome. We are at 2.2 or 2.6K on the likes. So keep it going. Good job, though. I appreciate y'all. Chain in now. Big Chain in the house. You join us on
Peter.
TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 second.
No, you good. Jeff in the house. What's up, Jeff?
I sent the request over.
Okay.
What's up, Nicholas?
What up? What up? What up? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, Shane, we can hear you.
Hey, yo. Hey, what is up? It is your boy. It's the Birdman. We right here on the Birdman Show. If you've been here with me for a long time, you already know what we're about to do. So do it with me one time. Well, one of many times. But anyways, it's your boy, it's the Birdman. I'm here. We're rocking and rolling. We got a fun episode coming up. Well, I'm gonna say fun, but interesting episode coming up that we're gonna get into here very shortly. But before we do that, I gotta say what's up to my co-host. Well, first I want to say what's up if you're rocking with us here on YouTube, if you're rocking with us here on Twitch. Welcome. If you're here rocking with us live on TikTok, of course, welcome. I love my TikTok fan. We are at 3.9K on the likes. Let's get that bad boy up. Let's see if we can get that up to 5K in the next 30 minutes. Challenge on. Yes, that's right. We're here rocking and rolling. But yeah, like I said, I want to talk to my co-host real quick. Now we are, for those who are watching us on YouTube and Twitch, waiting on our other co-host Ace. He's trying to boot up right now. He's working on it right now. You see him behind me. No, I'm not an octopus or a spider. Those are definitely not my hands because those are a little bit pasty to be mine. But he's still trying to get logged in. So for Twitch and YouTube, you're going to enjoy myself and the lovely Tabitha for a little bit until Ace gets in here. TikTok, sorry, you guys are gonna have to endure with Ace. Anyways, but yeah, let's get this going. So for YouTube and Twitch, Shane, how are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Man, another beautiful day in paradise. Make sure you unmute yourself on TikTok when you talk, so that way those people can hear you too. Not turn your camera off, unmute yourself. There you go.
Mute it, so I turned my camera off.
Oh, okay. I got you. All right, but you're doing good. That's good. Tabitha is our special guest host for this episode. We get to guess pop your cherry on the podcast world.
Yes, you do.
We get to pop a lot of cherries around here. We love it. Sorry. Not anyway. So Tabitha, how are you doing?
Not too bad. Long week, but we're getting there.
Yeah, trust me, I know. Trust me, I 100% get that. Yeah, just a quick update. I had to go to the VA for an appointment. Find out I'm gonna have to have surgery on my shoulder, my left shoulder this time. And then found out that I have a torn labrum in my right hip. And basically it's bone on bone, definitely not in any way I would ever want it, but I'm gonna have to have surgery on that as well. So yeah, I'm just doing it. You know, like Dad said earlier, go big or go home. And I've been going big for a while here. So it is what it is. But I am definitely looking forward to this episode. I know Ace is not here in the studio with us right now. He's working on it. But Ace, over on TikTok, why don't you let the people know how you're doing?
Well, see, the thing of it is, I can tell everybody on TikTok how the hell I'm doing, but then I'm also telling everybody on YouTube and Twitch how I'm doing.
Yeah, just like a ventriloquist over here, though.
Right? So
I'll just move like that.
I'm here.
The cue ball back there.
So this motherfucker over here. I'm good. Good to see you guys, and for those on YouTube and Twitch, I will be there shortly.
Shortly meaning the next 10 minutes. Yeah. So yeah. Other than that, everything copacetic, way to go. It's all good to go, gravy. I don't want to waste too much more time. However, I want to do something a little different. We're gonna start the episode off with a video. Oh yeah, I'm going there. So we're gonna start the show off with a video, and it's gonna kind of give us a little small look into what we're about to talk about today on this episode of the Birdman Show. Go for it.
Marie Hilley is a mystery. Her presence still hovers over her family and friends, and with it, the deeply painful questions with no answers. What made her do such ghastly things? What motivated her complicated stories and alibis? Was there anybody that she truly loved? And finally, who was the real Marie? Those who should have known her best knew her least. In the established tradition of black widows, Marie murdered her husband. It didn't stop there. Her murderous escapades undermined what should have been the most sacred of family relationships. When it appeared she would finally be brought to justice for her crimes, she disappeared and began life anew with an assumed identity. One persona after another, discarded when it no longer suited her needs. The story of Marie Hilley is a study of deceit, pathological obsession, and serial murder. Improbably, Marie Hilley was not the only black widow of note from the tiny mill town of Blue Mountain, Alabama. In the 1950s, Americans were shocked at the criminal exploits of Nanny Hazel Doss, a sweet-looking woman whose jovial manner during her lurid confessions earned her the...
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the video there because it's creeping me out. She looks like my second grade teacher. So yeah, I gotta stop it there. Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, so that's what we're starting this episode off with. And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about Audrey Marie Hilley, who was well actually known as the Black Widow. Not now she's not my Black Widow. My Black Widow is Scarlett Johansson. Always and forever. But it is what it is. So, like I said, this was a topic that was brought to us by Tabitha. So Tabitha, I want you number one tell us why you were drawn to this case, and then give us, if you can, a little bit more background on this 1920s. No, I'm playing not 1920s, but this Black Widow that we are going to be talking about today.
So this was actually, I was born in Anniston, Alabama. Part of my childhood was spent there. So everybody knows, Marie Hilley. It's, it's still talked about to this day. So we know it. We, keep up with the history on it. So it's always been something there from my hometown, is why I brought it up. And this was a woman who, even through childhood, she always wanted to be part of the upper crust of society. She always wanted to have money, and that never happened for her. And that's why she did what she did. There was life insurance policies that gave her money. And that's why she went from husband to her daughter. She tried with her son, but her son had went away to a monastery school. So when he got sick, minute he left home, he started getting better and no questions were ever asked. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Now, I know it said in there. This took place in the 1930s, right? No.
This was the 50s,
Yeah.
60s.
Yeah. Okay. So she was born June 4th, 1933.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Um. Wow. Okay. So that's kind of cool. You pretty much grew up knowing about this.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Cool. That's all right. Um. Shane, what are some of your thoughts on the research you did? Now, don't go into it, but what are some of your initial thoughts about this woman here?
She's definitely crazy.
Okay, definitely crazy, definitely a woman. That's good. Okay, thanks, Sam.
Right?
um, are you in here, Ace? I mean, I see that, but you're still working on your camera and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um. Okay. So, Tab, do me a favor. Go ahead and tell us a little bit more about her background. Um. Do you have like information on like when she was younger, before all this started, or any?
There really wasn't a whole lot of information on her younger years that I could find. And no one ever really, it was more focused on after she married Frank Hilley and their life and what led up to his death.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. I was trying to help
That's okay.
Ace there. Okay. So. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's focus on the husband.
So she married Frank Hilley May 8th of 51, and they had the two children, Carol and Mike. And like I said, Mike did start getting sick, but he went away and look, I'm better, and no one ever questioned it. Um, Frank began suffering from mysterious illness. What is it? they didn't give a date of when his started happening, but it was right around the same time that, they were struggling for money because of Marie's spending habits. This was something that had been ongoing. She had had extramarital affairs with her boss to get more money to spend. And then when Frank started getting sick, it was because he had a life insurance policy. And what was it? At the time, it was $31,140, which today it equivalates to $176,000. So back then it was a lot of money, and she found a way to make money. And that's when she started poisoning her daughter. Was after her. But when they did the autopsy and everything, they thought it was just kidney failure and pneumonia because that's what the symptoms were, and they didn't have the testing like we do, or like they did come the 80s when it was really needed. So it was assumed that later on that she had murdered him, but proving it was a whole other story.
Oh wow. So wow. So she was having extramarital affairs with her bosses so she can get
Performance reviews that were exemplary so she could get raises, and for cash. Yeah, she was something.
okay. So the moral of the story is, fellas, never let your significant other take a life insurance policy out on you. That's number
Right.
one. If you do take one out on yourself, make sure somebody else is the beneficiary. Um, and all your assets need to go into somebody else's name other than your own in case you do get a divorce or anything else like that. Just ask Tom Brady. Anyways, okay, so now that we have Ace in here, Ace, what are your impressions on the story so far? And quick shout out to TikTok. We are at 5K. You guys are freaking phenomenal. Let's keep it going. Ace, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that this bitch is fucking crazy.
Mhm.
It's
It gets
one.
better.
Oh, I know. The way that she went about it, not so much with her husband, but with her daughter,
Mhm.
was just it's sickening.
Very much
And
so.
to see somebody do something like that to one of their loved ones for money, it is it's I'm sorry. She should have fried. She got off easy. She got off so fucking easy.
Yeah, I agree. But she definitely got off easy. Quickly on TikTok. No, Angel, I will not stop telling Bob that. Bob, you especially make sure all your assets is in somebody else's name because Angel's crazy anyways. Um, love you, Angel. Just playing. But no, yeah, I think she definitely got off fairly easy. Like I said, we'll get into that a little bit later in this in the podcast. But it's just like when I was listening to that video, it's just amazing that like all the stuff they were talking about she was doing, and then the links she went to try not to be caught.
Mhm.
It sounds like something out of a movie.
It
I mean,
really
when I
does.
really think about it, this story, all this really sounds like if I was telling somebody the story, like, oh, what's the name of that movie? Like, nah, fam, that movie's called Real Life. Um, and this actually happened. So like it's just, but you know what's funny to me when it comes to this is that you hear a lot of these same similar stories, especially when you're talking about this with this woman, except for with the what she was doing to keep from getting caught. But you hear a lot of the same stuff that goes on in today. Um,
Mhm.
where there's the woman or the man that are decides that they want to unalive their partner to get insurance money. It is just it's crazy because people think, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. It's like, yo, you really don't pay attention to history, do you? Because this has been going on for quite some time. This happened in 1950.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This started going on in the 50s. Like, I'm like, and it really, I guess it was 75 because it said in 75 after returning home due to illness, Frank found Audrey in bed with her boss.
Right.
Um, and oh my God. So
And he died May 25th of 75.
wow.
And then yeah, it doesn't say when he returned home, but
Yeah, that's crazy. And then I guess what did you say? You said something about her taking out an insurance policy on Carol, right?
yes.
The daughter, and that one was 25,000 with additional 25,000 for accidental death. Which of course, total was 50,000, which equates to today's time. Or should last year was the date of it, which was $233,600.
Right.
That is that's wild to me.
And if Carol had never been admitted to the hospital, no one would have ever known what she had done.
Not the hospital. If she had been admitted to the psychiatric hospital. Yeah, when she was admitted into the psychiatric hospitals, whenever they started questioning it. Because she checked her out of the psychiatric hospital and took her to a regular hospital, and the psychiatric hospital didn't stop their investigation. See, I did my homework too, this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this
do
is
a little bit of homework.
a little bit. Yeah, so this is just wow. That's crazy. Shane, what are your thoughts so far?
Just the same thing as earlier. I mean,
It's
like
crazy.
H said, I don't see how you could do that to your own family. I'm watching you, Tim.
I can see how you might think about it. I mean, but I mean, I know. No, I mean, I'll say I know. I agree. No, you wouldn't want to do it, but I can see why you might think about it. I mean, families today is crazy. And so I mean, I get it.
That's true.
I sympathize. I empathize with you. I can't do it. I just couldn't do it. No. I couldn't. I'm with you. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
No,
I mean,
no.
you shouldn't do it. But no, that's wow. That's just wild to me. This is just wild to me. Okay, so now she eventually was arrested, right?
She was.
Yes.
Where was that? On January 11th, she was indicted in absentia for Frank's murder, which means that she wasn't there, but they did indict her. And then, where was it that she actually wasn't placed in jail until June 19th of 1983, where she was sentenced to life.
Now she was released out on bail.
Mm-hmm.
That was
They let her out on bail. That was, I forget what year that was, but then she assumed a new identity under Robbie Hannon and started a whole new life on the run.
okay, so wait a minute. So they released her on bail. She was supposed to check into a hotel, and well, they just let her go check into a hotel. No one escorted her to make sure she was checking in.
Nope, none of that. And she was gone.
What?
And that actually happened twice, because the last time before she passed, she had been given a 3-day pass to go see Homan, her boyfriend, and she ran away from him as well. And that's when she died. That's where she got the pneumonia and hypothermia and died from exposure.
What the? So, not once,
But twice.
but twice, they let this fool out. Actually, I'm not even gonna call her the fool, because the Justice Department was the fool for letting her out, not thinking she was gonna do it again.
Right. Welcome to the great state of Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Yeah. Oh, there was some roll tide going on, and she rolled right up out of there.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to play another part of this video. It's going to talk a little bit more about kind of what was going on around that time with her. And I think it's going to give us a little bit more of a background, visual background, everything like that. Like I said, for people watching on TikTok, you guys are not going to be able to see this part, or be able to hear it. I probably could
do it, Angel.
But yeah, like I said, if you want to be able to watch that, like I said, I love you guys on TikTok. But if you ever want to get a chance to watch the visual effects of this, you can just join us live on our YouTube channel, which is at Birdman Show Podcast 9643, or you can follow me on Twitch at Birdman 143. But like I said, you can watch us live, or you can go back and watch us later. Whichever, it's going to be available on YouTube. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this part to give us a little bit more background and everything that's going on with this crazy lady, as Shane put it.
Further south, the cotton with which Marie would have been familiar was processed in the textile mills of Blue Mountain and Anniston, the bustling industrial town on the outskirts of which Blue Mountain lay. Calhoun County, which encompasses both towns, was full of hard-working people who had never known the fabled leisurely life for which the South was known. Huey Frazier and Lucille Meads worked just as hard as everybody else. Each came from a family whose life was centered on the local mills. And when they married in January 1932, each was already accustomed to the long hours of labor required just to make a living in Depression-era Alabama. When her daughter, Audrey Marie, was born on June 4th, 1933, Lucille Frazier held no illusions about staying home to care for the child. She returned to her job at Linen Thread Company as soon as she could, and relatives cared for Marie while her parents worked long shifts. The Fraziers loved Marie. There was never any doubt of that. But they were, like the folks around them, realists. Times were hard, and a single income didn't stretch far enough to meet the needs of a family of 3. Huey and Lucille loved and trusted their families and were grateful for the help, and they tried to make up for the lost time with Marie by spoiling her. Marie's clothes weren't the best money could buy, but they were pretty and neat, and better than those of a lot of the kids around her. And from an early age, Marie got her way. The slightest correction or denial was likely to provoke a loud tantrum. The Fraziers, perhaps out of guilt, never saw fit to administer any real discipline. The Fraziers saw a brighter future for Marie than their own. Their daughter, they proudly predicted, wouldn't have to spend countless years breathing the linty, stifling air of the mills. She would graduate high school and be a secretary, a humble ambition that seemed, in the context of the Fraziers' times and surroundings, the loftiest of dreams. Blue Mountain girls usually got no more than a grade school education before they began working at Linen Thread. Marie would be different. She was special, and her parents told her so.
This is how you make a margarita grand. Agave nectar, tequila, lime, salt, and I had to say the best for last. Grand Marnier. It's the cognac and orange liqueur that makes it grand. The Grand Margarita. Grand Marnier makes it better.
We have no affiliation with them.
Yeah, definitely don't have any affiliation with them. Yeah, I just completely forgot the commercial was going to be in there. Yeah, I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit.
Their first child, Michael Hilley, was born on November 11th, 1952. Outwardly, the Hilleys seemed happy and settled, but the first stirrings of trouble had already begun. Marie liked to spend money. When Frank had sent home his paychecks from California, Marie had spent them with astonishing speed, and when the time came for her to join him out west, she had no money with which to make the trip. Her in-laws had to pay her way. These habits didn't abate, and though Frank liked to make Marie happy, he found it hard to keep pace with her constant acquisitions of newer and nicer clothes and furnishings. There were arguments, but Frank didn't like to fight and found it easier to go along with Marie's whims, as best he could, rather than to bicker over every purchase. Besides, he loved his wife. By the time Carol Hilley was born in 1960, Frank had been appointed foreman of the shipping department at Standard Foundry, and Marie had a reputation as an excellent executive secretary. Though the family's collective income had increased, it still barely kept pace with Marie's spending. And Marie was developing a disturbing work pattern. Though her employers always found her professional and effective at her duties, her co-workers thought otherwise. Marie judged and put on airs and played power games, but was always careful to remain respectful and subservient to the boss. At each job, she eventually became unpopular with those around her and left, telling friends and family that she'd been ganged up on by her fellow employees. Her references were always excellent, though, and she never had trouble getting another job. Marie worked for some of the most powerful men in Anniston, all of whom spoke glowingly of her. Later, Frank Hilley would find out one of the reasons why. As the years passed, Anniston citizens grew to know the Hilleys. Frank was a member of the Elks Club and the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and though he liked to tie one on now and then, he was well liked around town. Marie was active in the First Christian Church and volunteered at her kids' schools. Some found her peculiar, and some noted that she reacted badly when she didn't get her way, but mostly people dismissed her quirks, attributing them to a high-strung nature. Carol and Mike Hilley wanted for nothing except, perhaps, their mother's attention. Like her own parents, Marie showered her children with material possessions, but remained emotionally remote. She administered little discipline, leaving that task to Frank's mother, Carrie, who cared for the children while Marie and Frank worked. Marie favored Mike and allowed him to grow into a little hellion, brushing off his behavior with a casual, boys will be boys attitude. As for Carol, she seemed always to be missing the mark. Carol was a tomboy, nothing like the demure, proper daughter Marie wanted. They clashed continually. Frank Hilley, noticing the effect Marie's treatment was having, took a special interest in Carol, taking her for ice cream and to football games. Their close relationship galled Marie. From time to time, Frank worried about his wife. Sometimes she would be awake all night, and he would hold her while she shook in nameless fear. She was restless, and he was unable to soothe her. She taunted him with love letters she said she received from local men. And then there was her spending. Marie's refined tastes kept the bills coming to the Hilley home year after year. Sometimes Frank would reprimand her, but it did no good. Marie wanted the best, and she wanted it now. She rented a post office box and began having some bills routed there so Frank wouldn't know what she was spending. And she began taking out loans. In Anniston, a town of less than 30,000 people, Frank Hilley was respected, and businesses extended credit to his wife out of courtesy. Frank had always paid every bill on time, so in his...
Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop it there. So I try to contain myself as much as possible. While the narrator was kind of going with that. But yeah, for those on TikTok didn't get a chance to really hear that. Yeah, it kind of went on talking about how basically how the life or how the marriage and the family and how she was at work. But the thing that got me was when he said that her bosses were just astounded by you know, how she worked and everything like that. I'm like, I'm sure they were because she was giving them that old secretary the stapler she's giving them that Pac-Man that wonka wonka wonk. God. Well, hey man, hey, get them that Thanksgiving gobble gobble.
Of course, she got glowing reviews and ways to
Yeah.
get new jobs because everybody talks so highly of her.
Like, man, you just be getting jobs left and right. Yeah, she sure do. Oh man, she was Tinder before Tinder was even thought of. Okay, okay. Mm, mm, okay. Recompose.
Woosah.
Yeah, yeah. So after hearing that, because I mean, it kind of just, I mean, of course, it definitely just reinforced a lot of things we just talked about. We were talking about earlier before the video. What are what are some things that as you've been able to see those pictures and everything? What were some of the things that kind of stuck out to you on the video? Tabitha, we'll start with you.
The always being able to get a new job really just. I mean, I get it. Of course, you're going to be able to get a new job, but yeah, that's and the relationship with her daughter. That's another thing that really does stick out. The hate she did have towards her just because she had a close relationship with her father.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Yeah,
But I mean, like I said, her problem she had with her daughter was because she wasn't the daughter that she really wanted, as far as because she was a
wasn't prim
tomboy.
and proper,
Yeah,
and
she was a tomboy. So I mean, I've honestly I've witnessed that before. Um, when it comes to a mother-daughter relationship, that sometimes it's not the way the mother wants it because the child is completely different. And I think that's a great point, which is kind of off topic, but I think it's a great point when it comes to for parenting. Uh, as a parent, we have an idea of what we would like and love our children to be or become, but we got to remember when it comes to a child has three parts of DNA in them.
mhm.
There's the mother's DNA, there's the father's DNA, and then there's that child's DNA. So therefore, sometimes they go one or three ways. They're either going to be like their father, they're going to be like the mother, or they're just going to be their complete own person, with maybe some personality traits of both parents. But I think that's important to understand and know that just because let's say just because I may have been a high school stud athlete and went to college and I did all this stuff, and let's say in a perfect world I played professional sports, doesn't mean any of my children would follow that path.
Right.
And there's a lot of times where that happens. You make a career out of something, and he's like, "Yeah, I would love for my kids to be able to do the same career," and then they go on a completely different, different path. That's what he's talking about. Stop calling you out. Ain't nobody called you out. If you think somebody calling you out, man, that means you might have a guilty conscience about something. You might want to get that checked out. Anyways, no, but seriously, um, I mean, that's something I think as parents we need to be careful of. And in a lot of these cases that we talk about, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of times where some some cases may have never came to light if some of those parents in those situations really paid attention to their children. Like I said, we deal with a lot of true crimes, murder mysteries, and we throw some other things in there as well. And a lot of times, what it is the child has grown up and they've already shown those signs of whatever happened. And but because the parents, they're just like, well, that's my son, that's my daughter. You overlook a lot of things, and I think there's a lot of times. Oh, relax. Somebody was calling you out. But there's a lot of times we do overlook things as parents. And that plays into I think something I said a few episodes ago where um you have to be careful when it comes to family. I think we give family too many passes. And in some of these cases, by giving those family members passes, they end up taking someone else's life. And in some cases, they end up taking their own life because we did nothing to stop it. In this case, with her, the husband, it started off with the whole thing with the spending. He was spending a lot of money. That sounds familiar. I've seen this, and I love you too. I've seen that, in a lot of different cases that we deal with. And there's an issue that starts off small anytime you talk about finances, especially within a marriage, but that tends to root out into something else. And in a lot of situations, what happens with this stuff, in most cases, the wife ends up unaliving the husband, because wanted money. The husband ends up unaliving the wife because trying to get the money. So you say what you want to, that old saying of money is the root of all evil. In a lot of these cases, it really is the truth on that. Shane, what are some of your thoughts on that?
Well, it was funny that you said that she was the Tinder before Tinder was a thing. She was like straight up OnlyFans before OnlyFans was a thing. For real.
Yeah, because she was doing live. She was doing live shows, like live and in person shows.
She did it all. She did. Anyways. That just shows me that people will do anything for money. Literally anything.
Hey, like one of my old uncles used to say, "Hey, girl, do a little something strange for a piece of change." You heard?
She was pimping herself out, that's crazy.
Got a little something strange for a little piece of change. Like, you know what I'm talking about, nephew? Oh Lord, one of these episodes, we're just gonna do an episode on our families, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of stories we gotta say. What you got, Ace?
I'm not sure that I really want to comment on this.
Don't be chicken.
Well, fuck, everything else has already been taken. Like an OnlyFans, Tinder, Strange for some change. I mean, the hell's that? Getting back to the video. I don't care how extravagant my life becomes, where I have to have I have to be in a certain class. I'm not going to take insurance policies out on people and kill them off just to solidify my spot in that class. I guess you would have become the first hitman before the mob came around. That was weak. I know.
It was very weak. I mean, you were trying. I mean, I appreciate it. You were trying. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, first, I want to take a time out. I didn't get a chance to do this earlier. I want to make sure I do that. Take that time out to tell you that the Birdman Show is brought to you by Restream. Restream is an amazing platform to use if you're looking to start a podcast, whether it's an audio or video podcast. It gives you amazing tools. You can record your podcast and then post it later. You can do like what we're doing now, where we go live. You can have up to 8 different social media platforms that you can actually stream live on. Like I said, we're here live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. We're working on TikTok. We're working on it. But yes, Restream is an awesome platform to use. So if you wanted to learn a little bit more about Restream and even give them a try, definitely check out the link in the Birdman Show YouTube profile, where I have a link there. You go to Restream and check out all those fun things and become a podcaster too. Okay, so yeah, this this one is just it's crazy to me. Like I said, for those of you who are just joining us, we are talking about Audrey Marie Hilley, uh, who was dubbed the Black Widow. This happened in the 1950s, between 50s and the 75, something like that. I guess technically
75 was when
yeah,
her husband passed.
Yeah, so they got married in 1950, right?
Yep, 51.
Now the thing of it is, though, is later on they went on an exhuming spree. They exhumed her siblings. They exhumed her parents. They exhumed the body of her
a neighbor girl.
Yeah, the neighbor girl. They exhumed her body and checked all of
one
them.
of Carol's friends. They exhumed the body because she had passed away, and they wanted to make sure that it wasn't from the arsenic poisoning.
Yeah, because it was kind of funny. Even they even said that there were some officers that had visited their house and drank a cup of coffee
and had gotten
sick after. I mean, that's why you don't go to somebody's house and drink their fucking shit
or eat their food.
Never.
If you don't know them, don't do it.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Time out. Time out. You mean to tell me? Cause I didn't go that far on the research. You mean to tell me this fool? I ain't gonna lie. My bad. You mean to tell me this fool was often all kind of people?
She was suspected. That's why they went ahead and exhumed bodies. And the friend of Carol's, she was 11, and yeah, she had gotten sick because she had been over at the house, but there was not enough arsenic level to say that that's what killed her.
But now, whenever they exhumed her mother, I can't remember if it was her mother or her father, but one of them had 100 times the legal limit, or not the legal limit, the limit of arsenic in their body than what they should have.
He said legal limit.
Shut up, fucker.
I know her mother and her mother-in-law had significant amounts, but they couldn't prove that it was above the level.
Wow. Oh man, that. See, man, you know what? That started to make me think, man. I had this one shorty I was talking to back when I was in college, man. I not feel too good after I just left the house, man. I wanted to put something in the Gatorade, boy. Oh man, ooh. Okay, I got you. Okay, all right, I got you. Okay, all right. Let me tell you something, Shelly. If I ever see you again, there's gonna be a misunderstanding. I'm gonna tell you right now. If I ever see you again, there's gonna be a misunderstanding. I'm just saying. There's gonna be some misunderstandings going on here because I'm starting to feel wet type of way now. Okay, all right. That's okay. Cool. All right. I got some people I gotta call. Anyways, got my mind racing, man, because I just thought if somebody's cooking, they couldn't cook. Maybe they're trying to off the Birdman. Oh, you dirty dogs. Okay, I got you. Don't worry. Next on my list. All right, good. So let's talk a little bit about. Okay, so Tab, you had mentioned earlier. Hold on, let me do a little puzzle on TikTok real quick. Okay, so Tab, you had mentioned earlier. We talked about so I need some clarification. So the husband passed away.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and it wasn't until the daughter got sick, and she was at the psychiatric facility when they started questioning things. Right, so it was after the daughter was when they caught her, right?
Because when she was admitted, they found that she was malnourished and with her toes and her fingers going numb. So they started doing more tests, and that's when they found arsenic levels in her system.
Man, I need to get tested. I'm telling you right now, because I'm telling you, there was times when my toes and my fingers went numb. See, Tab, you got to get somebody.
But here's the thing: while Carol was in the hospital, her mother, Marie, was giving her shots that the nurse didn't know about. And those were arsenic shots, saying that it would help her nausea. So she was giving her more while she was in the hospital.
Wait, they just let this fool come up in there with needles and just was letting her give her shots?
It's not like they checked in the 80s. Anybody could come and go.
Now, the thing of it is, though, is after she gave her the shot while she was in the psychiatric ward, she told her daughter, do not tell anybody I gave you this.
Right.
First clue that there's some shady shit going on. If your mother tells you not to tell anyone, tell everyone.
Right.
Well, first of all, let's make a distinction here, because parents have been telling their kids a lie for generation after generation. And don't tell me I'm wrong, because how many of y'all, go ahead and put it in the chat if you're on TikTok, if you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and put in the chat how many times when you was a kid did someone come knocking on the door or calling the house and your mama or your daddy said, tell them I'm not here.
Okay, yeah.
No, it ain't different. It ain't different. It ain't different. So my thing is this, Gio, over on TikTok. Yeah, Gio, I hear you, Gio. My thing is this, like, if that's the case, yeah, there you go, Mandy. My thing is this: stop telling your kids a lie. Just stop, because now they gonna get confused. They gonna be like, okay, now just because Mama said, like, what are you, Bobby Boucher? You the water boy now? Yeah. Mama said. You sound like Michael Jackson. Mama said. But that I mean, I get what you're saying, Ace. That was a huge red flag. Mandy over TikTok said I still do that on my own incoming calls. Understood. That's why I love my phone. If it's not a contact, if I don't know who you are, go straight to voicemail. That way I ain't got to deal with it. But then I gotta check my voicemail afterwards. And then it gets too full. But sometimes I let it do that on purpose, so that way I don't get extra voicemails. But no, that is a huge red flag. And but at the same time, for a child, it's your mother. Your mother's supposed to be the nurturing one. Your mother's supposed to be the one that's the real caring one. That is supposed to take care of you when you get sick and this and that. And if you don't know any better, then I mean, I get it. I understand it. But at the same time, it is beyond messed up on her part to do that stuff, and all for a lifestyle that she wanted. That's just, man, I'm telling you, this stuff really makes me sick to my stomach, not in that arsenic type of way. But but I didn't mean to do that, but hey, it worked out. But it is really extremely messed up. That this is the kind of stuff that is going on, or that's the type. Well, actually, I can say this kind of stuff is going on. People don't graduate from arsenic and they're using all kind of other stuff, or they're just going down to the local pawn shop and buying a freaking pistol, and doing it. So yeah, I get it. That's just crazy to me. So how long did they say that Carol was in the hospital? Did they say that? Before, well, how long was she in there before they found out what was going on?
She had been in there a month.
And how did they say? Did they find out how often she was giving Carol the shots?
No. They just know about the 2 that she gave in the hospital.
So Ace said in his research he found out it was once a week. And then you're saying that you know if there was at least twice, right?
Mhm.
Goodness gracious! So whether it was two times or 4 times,
Still
that
too
is
many.
man. And then what gets that they just letting people come up in the hospital with needles and stuff like she had a tool belt on with various needles and stuff like she was a maintenance man working on in there like I'm just gonna go do some work, get my hard hat and my vest on. I'm just gonna go shoot up some people. Oh my god, that's I think did we do an episode Ace where it was a nurse that was doing this to patients? If we haven't, I know it's one that's on my radar. But I could have sworn we did an episode like that. The woman was a nurse and she was going around. I don't actually now I think about. I don't think we have.
I don't think we have.
It was one I was thinking about doing. So this kind of that I can see a little bit better because the fact it was a nurse.
Right.
But now this the one was a woman to come up in here and I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm sorry. TikTok. Angel had made a comment. She said, "Oh my God, Tim Marshall pointed at you and said bird." Hey, Marshall. But yeah, that's just crazy to me that she was just going up in there and she was giving her daughter shots. And wow. And then okay, so then the son was also getting sick, but then he left,
He had
right?
been getting sick, but then this was before his father died. Their father died. And he went away to seminary. So since he left the house, and he was fine after that, had no problems, but he wasn't at home. So
Yeah, and Deception King, you were 100% right. Fentanyl is the new arsenic. Um, yeah, it really is. That's what's crazy. Um, Now since the Deception brought that up, okay, so out of my 3 co-hosts here, what can you what is the real difference between the fentanyl and the arsenic? Is it pretty much kind of like the same where it's harder to detect, or is it just because I'm not really diverse in that world, so I'm not 100% sure. Does anybody know here?
I
It
know
takes
fentanyl's more dangerous. I mean, you just have to touch and it can overdose you.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. Had a cop that I knew that had happened to on a search of a body. He touched and sent him into an overdose. So it's a little more lethal or quicker as far as lethal than arsenic. That's all, but that's what I know.
What? Let me tell you something, man. You know what? One of 2 things gonna happen. I'm either never gonna leave the house again, or I'm gonna get a complete bubble wrap suit. To
Get a
where
hazmat suit.
I'm seriously starting to think about it. Because I mean, when you think about something, man, I don't even want. Nope. Because now my military mind starting to kick in, and all the different. Nope, not going there. Not doing it. Not gonna do it.
Right.
Not gonna do it. Wow. Ace, what was some of your other research that you were able to come up with that we haven't really touched on yet?
Let's say here that fentanyl is a pain reliever.
What?
Yeah, it's everything I'm pulling up. Fentanyl here. Fentanyl is a potent synthetic opiate drug approved by the FDA for use as analgesic, pain relief, and anesthetic. So fentanyl is an approved drug, but when you consume like I'm assuming, like DK was saying, when you consume enough of it that it starts to affect your body, then it could be in the same classification as arsenic, where it goes undetected until the time where it is detectable.
Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is, when it comes to the F word, as far as the drugs we're talking about, and the A word, we're gonna have to restrain from saying that on TikTok, because I guys got a message, and I'm assuming that's what they're talking about. So we'll just kind of refrain from that. Matter of fact, let's just move on.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're just research what we've already talked about, because TikTok is whatever. That's the only issue I have with TikTok. Yo, supposed to be hey free, and y'all worried about them making you guys sell TikTok, but you guys are censoring every single thing everybody's doing. Pick one side or the other, please. But anyways, yeah, all that's just crazy. The fact that a lot of this stuff is just one of those things where man, I don't know, dude. Like, just the sheer fact that this woman was able to do this. And then what gets me, let's transition over to the part of the arrest and all that. You said she was indicted, or not indicted, but arrested in October, and then got out on bail in November, if I remember correctly.
She was indicted on January 11th, 1980.
January 11th. Okay. So she was okay. I could have sworn I seen something about. Let me double check, make sure, see what I was seeing. I know I said something. So I get it. Okay, so indicating certain types of poison as Carol's nails. So forensic test a sample on the hair, and was conducted by the Alabama Department of Forensic Science on October 3rd, 1979, revealing that the A had levels ranging from 100 times the normal level close to the scalp to 0 times the normal level at the end of the hair shaft. Okay, so that's where I got that from. Okay. Yeah, so Ray was incarcerated on check knitting. What?
So check kiting is where you would write one check from an institute that you're already in the negative to another bank institute to get money.
Yeah, she was arrested on October 9th of that for the attempted murder of her daughter. And then 2 weeks later, Frank's sister found a jar of rat poison that contained 1.4 to 1.5% of the AR. And in November, on November 9th, Rhea was released on bail, that's what she registered at the motel under an assumed name and then disappeared. Wow. Okay, so that in a nutshell, the simple fact that, like I said, she was arrested, was released on bail. They told her to check into a hotel. Just said, "Hey, go ahead and match your way. Make sure you check into a hotel." And no one decided to take her to the hotel or make sure she checked in under her real name. And I'm assuming they didn't check on. So when did they find out that she was gone? Does it say anything about that? Okay, so Ace said he has something on that. Ace, what do you have on that?
The second, I want to say it was the second time that they let her out. See, this was whenever the state allowed for consensual visits off property of the prison and everything.
Conjugal visits.
Well, sure, we'll go with that. The guy that she had married, one thing that wasn't brought up is the reason why she got caught is because she killed off her profile that she was the Billy or Bobby. What was the name?
Oh, so that was when she started, because she started dating John Homan, and then in May 29th of 81, they got married.
Right.
And then and that was in Florida. She had went to Florida, but she was under the name Robbie Hannon.
Okay. And what she had done is she had been gone for so long that she killed that persona off and came back as her sister.
Right.
She had dyed her hair. She had lost a lot of weight. So
she came back as the imaginary twin sister, Terry Martin.
Yes. And the friends of Bobby, whatever the hell her name
Robbie.
was.
Robbie Hannon.
The
You talking about Bobby Brown?
Shut up. Did not accept the story that they was given. So they opened up their own investigation. They got a hold of the Texas Department of Science, and her body was never donated there like
No.
Terry had said.
Well, see, and the other thing is when she came back as Terry, because as Robbie, she was married to John. And then, so as Terry, she called John and said, oh, Robbie passed away, blah, blah, blah. And then she started, as the imaginary twin sister, started dating John.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she just kept with the same person, just under a different persona.
And he never thought.
Apparently not.
Boy, she must have been giving him that good that made him forget about. Well, he was like, oh, well, you look like. Oh, never mind, ma'am. Nice to meet you. Like, what the? Like, how do you? Nah, I'm sorry. Nah, that's not happening. That's not happening. Because I mean, you can try to fool somebody with a something, but if you've been with somebody long enough, those little quirks that they have are going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to do certain things and you're not going to think about it. And, I mean, I guess you can probably play it off if she's saying, oh, that's my twin sister, da, da, da. Maybe she can play it off and you might say, oh, well, they're twins. So, yeah, they probably would have the same quirks, but I'm trying to tell you.
The same beauty marks in the same spot.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, fellas, be careful out there.
Like, holy shit. You got the same butterfly birthmark on the inside of your thigh, like.
Wait,
well, we are twins.
I'm like,
it doesn't work that way.
Like, wait a minute. Them cheeks sound the same. I've heard them cheeks before now. Hold up now. Like, wait a minute. Hold up, player. Hold up. I know that sound. Hold up. You Marie, ain't you? Now, Ned, that's just that's crazy to me. That she really was out there just really fooling people like that.
She was trying.
Okay, so what was the time frame between that incident and then when she got caught again?
Because
she was gone for a while.
The total time frame was 3 months.
So it was 3 months.
Yeah.
It was
January of 83, she was extradited back to Alabama to face charges.
Yeah. And so she finally went to jail, right?
She was sentenced June 19th of 83 to life in prison for her husband's murder and then 20 years for attempting to kill her daughter. The only problem with that was she started serving her sentence, and because she was such a model prisoner and clerical, and she did clerical work there while at the prison, she was allowed day passes to go out and about and do whatever she wanted during the day.
So she went back to her old life of being a secretary.
Maybe.
And,
I mean, their prison warden
reviews.
I mean, it's
now she didn't go back to her old life of being a secretary. Her husband, the one that was married to her sister and her twice, moved closer to her so that he could see her whenever she got these visits. On the last visit she had sent him to go do something, and while he was gone, she had written a note and left it in the hotel room, and she fucking bounced.
Right, and
that
so
was
in that
February
note,
of '87.
okay, and that note that Ace was referring to now, is it my understanding that she was trying to stage it as a kidnapping?
No, she just apologized for everything and hoped he could forgive her, and then she bounced.
Okay, because that's where that's why I like the research everybody does, because that's one thing everybody needs to understand is that whenever you're researching something, you're trying to figure these things out. There's going to be different reports. Because the one I'm looking at, it says that while in November 9th, Maria was released on bail, after which she registered a local motel and under the assumed name and disappeared. While a note was left behind indicating that she might have been kidnapped. So that's what I'm saying. Like it, and this was off.
I see something completely different here.
And like I said, everybody knows. I mean, Wikipedia is kind of hit and miss on some of their information.
So Wikipedia is 100% correct. I mean, fuck, it's on the interwebs. It's fact.
I'm just saying. I mean, this is how all this stuff goes. Okay, so now so what I'm also seeing now, did you guys hear anything about the burglary at her aunt's house? Did you guys find any research on that?
Yes.
Shane did. Okay, Shane, talk to us a little bit about that.
On November 19th, I have trouble saying this word, so just to let you know, you're gonna laugh at me. A burglary occurred at the home of Marie's aunt. The occupant's car was stolen, as well as some clothes and an overnight bag. Investigators found a note in the house reading, "Do not call police. We will burn you out if you do. We found what we wanted and will not bother you again."
What? Wait. Wait. So you mean to tell me the fool broke into the house, took overnight bag clothes and some stuff like that, and then left a note saying, "Don't call the police. We found what we want. If you do, we're gonna burn you out."
Yes.
Pretty much.
My head's starting to hurt thinking about this case. Because the audacity of this woman and the stupidity of some of these people.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else say something. Because this fool really left a note.
Something.
Saying, "Don't call the police. If you do, we'll burn you out. We found what we wanted and will not bother you again." Well, obviously you're gonna bother them again if they call the police. What are you talking about? So somebody gonna have to be waiting around to find out if you call the police.
Right.
This fool. Okay. Anyway, Shane, do you have any more anything else when it came to that burglary, or if there was anything that went along with that?
No, that's about it. It is crazy in this article, though. As I keep reading, it talks about the remains of Sonia Marcel Gibson and also an 11-year-old friend of Carol's who died from whatever this says, and they don't know what she died. It says, but were found to contain only a normal amount of arsenic. I didn't know that you were supposed to find a normal amount of arsenic in anybody's system.
I don't know what the measurement for that is either. I didn't. Does the body does the body just naturally have it?
I don't recall the body having that.
Huh.
I missed that one in science class if we do.
Yeah. In science or biology, I don't remember them saying, "Yeah, you got about 4 or 5 levels Yeah. So we got yeah, so you're good. As long as you don't go over that, you're good. No. No. Wow. Okay. So so they just really, I guess, like you guys were saying earlier, they just really just went on kind of resuming spree and just started checking everybody, any and everybody that had anything to do with this woman.
Right.
Man, they was probably checking pets. They was, good God, they was probably checking people 5 towns over. This is crazy. So they only have
Right. Whoa.
one confirmed.
Whoa, wait. Are you ready for this?
Oh boy.
Okay. Arsenic levels vary depending on the medium and location, and can be measured in parts per billion, parts per million, or milligrams per liter. In food, arsenic levels in food range from.
What did I say about that word?
Levels in food range from 20 to 140 parts per billion. In the air, the levels in air can range from less than 1 to 2,000 nanograms per cubic meter.
Wait, it's in the air?
Yes, drinking water.
What?
The EPA has set a limit of 10 parts per billion for levels in U.S. drinking water. However, consuming water with this at levels lower than the EPA standard over many years can still increase the risk of cancer. Trey, just to give you a quick synopsis of what we're talking about, we are talking about Audrey Marie Hilley, who is the Black Widow of Alabama.
Alabama.
She was arrested on charges of killing her husband and attempting to unalive her daughter with hard metal poison.
Yo, you telling me it's in the air? It's in the water? Man, I'm about to walk
everywhere
around with a scuba tank, and I'm gonna walk around with a Camelback on my back with nothing but Jack Daniels in it. Man, I'm telling you right, they can't drink nothing around this sucker. Man, I don't want no sweet tea no more. I don't even want to drink no Kool-Aid.
I ain't giving up sweet tea or coffee. Sorry. I'll take the A and
Man, I was wondering why that fool kept trying to get me drink the water, trying to give me tap water, man. I'm telling you, man, people been trying to off the Birdman for a minute. I hear you, Trey. You know what I'm saying? Trey talking about, saying he using the filter water.
Me too.
I don't know, maybe they putting in the filters now too. I don't know.
Why you gotta run it for us, man?
Man, and yeah, like it's still in the air. Oh Lord Jesus, I don't know what
they never once told me that if you're drinking tap water, it can cause cancer over time. That's crazy.
They talk about
no. You know, whenever it goes through the water plant, that they add so many fucking chemicals to that shit that there's going to be residue of those chemicals left by the time it gets to you, even with all of the filtering that they do to it.
And that's why I don't drink tap water.
let me tell you something, Pepper King. I don't you mess with my Burger King now. Something, boy. We cool now.
Burger King.
DK, don't mess with my BK now, baby. Oh my God, man! I'm telling you, man. You man. Oh, God. I'm about to tell him put me back on another boat and send me back to Africa. God, listen. I can't. There's nothing you can do no more in this world without having the possibility of going to see Jesus. Like what? It's in the what? The air. The air. I'm so scared now. I mean, I've had 4 deployments to Iraq. Heck, I've been married 4 times. I've seen a lot of evil in my life. But nothing scares me worse than knowing that stuff is in the air, in the water, not water, water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right, Trey. You're right, Trey. I ain't even gonna lie about that. I've been watching the Discovery Channel lately. Nah, Africa and Australia, 2 places I don't want to ever go. Everything there is designed to kill you.
Yeah.
Everything there that you can't. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna get off topic. Nope. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. You almost got me, Trey. You almost got me. But no, I'm not gonna do it. That is just wow. I don't even know what to say about that. I really don't know what to say about that. That's what else do you have to what else do you have to add? Do you have anything else to add to that, Shane?
No, that was it.
Okay. Tabitha, what else do you have to add to that?
Just that she was found 4 days after she left the motel on a back porch in Anniston. Excuse me. The woman who found her described her appearance as scary, stating that she was dirty with mud on her face and long fingernails. The police were alerted, of course, but she was conscious when she was found on the porch, but by the time they got her to the hospital, they tried to revive her, and because she had suffered a heart attack, and so she died like 3.5 hours after they had found her. So that's what happened to her.
What the devil? And Angel over on TikTok, yes, you would love Australia. Anyways, what the devil?
Her final cause of death was attributed to hypothermia and exposure.
So she never even got a chance to even really sniff prison.
Mm-mm.
Wow. Okay. Well, before we go any further, I want to take this time to talk about Dubby energy drinks. Dubby is another sponsor of the Birdman Show. Dubby is an energy drink that you can mix at home. Their formulas contain vitamins, amino acids, neurotropics, and the patented neurofactor. It has 0 calories, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors. So if you need something to take on the world, try Dubby energy drinks. Go to dubby.gg and use promo code Birdman Show for 10% off your order. Wow. So this is what you were referring to at the beginning of the show, Ace, when you talked about she got off extremely easy. What were your thoughts when it came to that?
Whenever they told me, or actually whenever I got the information that she passed away after only spending a very minute time in prison for the deaths of her husband and the attempted unaliving of her daughter. To end her life with a heart attack, that's why at the beginning of the show, I straight up said that the ending that she received was not the ending that she deserved. She straight up deserved to spend the rest of her life in prison thinking about what she did to her loved ones. I don't think at that time Alabama had the death penalty or if it wasn't on the table for this for whatever reason, but she totally got off easy. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, Shane, what are your thoughts on that? Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Tabby, what are your thoughts on that?
I think even if she had spent any amount of time in prison, it never would have changed the way she thought. I mean, as much as we would like to say that she had to, would have had to have sat there and thought about it and lived with the guilt, she didn't have any guilt. She knew what she was doing, and yeah, she never would have paid either anyway.
No, I agree. I had to throw that up there for Trey. We yeah, I noticed that. Shane, were you muted on? Are you muted on?
No. I'm not muted on anything.
Okay, so I was told you didn't have any sound on the YouTube, TikTok, or the YouTube Twitch side. I know TikTok. I definitely can hear him because I can hear him. I can hear him in my earpiece. But anyways, yeah, to throw that up there from Trey. Trey's is one of our classmates, Shane and I's classmates. And we have a great time in class. So I'm definitely glad to see him joining us, as well as everybody. Like I said, on TikTok, we're at 5.7K on the likes. You guys are, like I said, phenomenal. You guys never let me down. And like I said, for the people watching us on YouTube and Twitch. But yeah, so it's
wow. Trey, don't come from my Alabama.
Yeah, because Shane's a huge Alabama fan. I try not to hold that against him. But yeah. Actually, didn't we do an episode on Casey Anthony? Not yet. I thought we did. Huh. I could have sworn we did.
Unless you did it before I started.
Okay, I mean, maybe not. I mean, we are in season 4, about to go or getting close, or yeah, we're in season 4 and I've already been talking about season 5. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. All episodes are starting to run together and getting foggy to me. So it is what it is. But no, Oh, I get you. Okay, so Trey made a comment about yeah.
Not A.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was over the lamp.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, man, this case was just crazy. And for all this to go on, I mean, like I said, just different parts of it. The fact that she was able to do this to her husband, was doing this to her son. Luckily, he left. It was almost unalived her daughter. If it weren't for the fact that she ended up going to the hospital and then to the psychiatric ward. But even while she was there, her mother still was getting to her. That's crazy to me. And then the fact that she was able, not once, but twice, get out on bail and then roll out. She was like, she lived up to that Alabama roll tide because she was rolling. She rolled right on up out of there. So yeah, I have to agree with Trey. Can't trust them Bamas.
Oh, don't come in here all big-eyed.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying. You don't live there. You don't live there. You like the squad and everything. So I mean, you don't
You're
live
starting
there.
to sound like an OU fan.
No, man, definitely not. But I'm just saying, man. We've gotten a lot of cases from Alabama and Kentucky. I'm just saying those might be two states that people need to stay away from.
Just a little bit.
I'm just trying. I'm starting to bleed that now because we got Angel, who's on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? She from where? She from Kentucky, right? Yeah. So that explains a whole heck of a lot.
No, that checks out. It checks out.
That definitely checks all the boxes for her. And then you got Shane over here, which I mean, like I said, he's not from Alabama. You know what I mean? He living there, but you sus, buddy. Anyways,
I find it funny how he says you sound like an OU fan. He's from Oklahoma.
You live in Oklahoma City.
I hate it here.
And he's a Bama fan.
Yes. That sounds about right. I mean, really, let's be honest. That sounds about right. There's people in this country that are nowhere near some of the colleges or professional teams that they like. Take me, for instance. I don't live in Boston. I've been to New England. I've been to Boston, for games and stuff. But I'm not from there. But I'm a huge Boston fan. I love everything. I love the Celtics. Love the Patriots. Love the Red Sox. The Boston Bruins. I love them. I love everything about them. Great tradition there. Awesome party towns. But anyways, no, but they're really good. So I get it. I understand. But this case, man, now you got me wanting to go buy oxygen tanks. And drink nothing but liquor. Which that's not a first.
Hey Trey,
sounds like a plan.
You would have to live here to understand. This place sucks.
Listen, I mean, it is what it is. I'm with you, Trey. I've been trying to make it make sense for a while when it comes to Shane, but it's just not working. Ace, why don't you tell the good people? Because I know you said you're putting off trivia for at least a couple more weeks, right? Okay. I will say probably after hopefully about the second or third, I can get that little issue fixed out there in your current sleeping quarters. So that way that'll make that much more bearable. So Ace he's gonna let you guys know when he's gonna be coming back for trivia on TikTok. It is a lot of fun. I know I miss it because it's always Tyler Perry for the win. That's my answer to everything. It's just my answer to everything. Trey was in Fort Sill for a few. Cool.
It's like 2 hours from me.
That's where my son did basic training.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Yeah, I'm down in Georgia myself. That place, Lord Jesus,
that place sucked.
Yeah, especially time I was there during the summer. I don't know when you were there, Shane.
I was there at the back end of summer, and then like going into like the rain and all that fun stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I was there in the summer. I think they knew I was going to Iraq, so they want to make sure I was there in the hottest part of the time of basic training. That place was hell on earth. But anyways, I still loved it. But yeah, so he's gonna let when he's ready to do trivia, he'll let you guys know. But normally trivia usually follows immediately after the Birdman show. As you see it down there, scrolling down there, trivia night is usually after the podcast. If you're on TikTok now, you already know where to follow Ace on that. That's at TLB-ACE there on TikTok. Like I said, whenever we get back onto that, we'll be joining as soon as the podcast is over. Don't forget that the Birdman Show recap is going to be on TikTok tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time, where we talk about tonight's episode and upcoming episodes and just pretty much anything we really want to talk about. Doesn't even matter. Most of the time, it completely goes off the rails and we have no idea what's going on. And there's a lot of times during the recap that someone says, wait, what are we talking about? So that happens quite a bit. So definitely, if you want to come enjoy that, definitely come on and join us. For those who are on TikTok, just come on back. Come on back. All right, you're here. Come on back tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Time.
Back,
I know. For,
welcome.
for those that are over on our YouTube and Twitch channels, definitely come check us out on TikTok tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. There's something else. Oh yes. You definitely follow us on our Instagram page at the Birdman Show. And like I said, for those who are watching this on YouTube, you can follow us on Twitch at Birdman 413. Okay, so Shane, we'll start with you. What are your closing remarks for this episode?
If you start feeling tingling in your feet and your toes, and you start getting severe headaches and feeling nauseous, you might want to reevaluate your situation.
That's good advice, my friend. That is actually good advice. Miss Tabitha, what do you have for the good people?
Well, first of all, thank you guys. This was definitely way better than my anxiety made it out to be.
I tried to tell you were gonna be fine.
Yeah, well, one of those things. But yeah, watch out for people taking life insurance policies out on you. That's my takeaway. I mean,
there is that.
And don't go to anybody's house you don't know and drink the water or the coffee or eat any of the food.
Yeah. Yeah, you dealing with that gnat over there?
The gnat is right above me. You could have stopped it at the first thing you said, but you had to go in and start fucking telling my fucking shit.
Somebody had to, and I think I said it better than you would.
That's always his excuse.
Shut up, Shane. Sean. Apparently.
Japanese now? What the heck?
Now, there is a reason why I will not go to a potluck dinner. And that reason is you don't know how the people live that are bringing that food in.
And so some people put raisins in the potato salad.
Ew.
So if you don't know how those people live when they're bringing food to you, then you probably don't know how they live when you go to their house. It is always nice to offer somebody something to drink. It is always smart to request it in an unopened bottle. Just saying. So if somebody offers you coffee, water, Kool-Aid, food, and you don't fucking trust them, don't take that shit. Take that shit and scrape it off to the damn dog or something. See if the dog fucking keels over first, and then you're like, okay, dog's still running around.
Well, we know who's taking a life insurance out on their dog now.
Right?
Yeah,
y'all have a great fucking day.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with any of that. And I mean, most of the time, if I go to somebody's house, especially if it's like, they say, hey, come by for a little bit. I normally show up with, I normally try to show up with like a bottle of water or something to drink already. That's just something I've always done. I don't try to be disrespectful of anybody. But at the same time, like one good point that Ace just put up, you don't know how someone lives. Unless you've been around them for extended period of time, and I know that not everybody washes their dishes like everybody else, like other people. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey Tim,
No,
those ain't raisins.
I was about to say they may not be raisins. That's what I'm saying. That might be something else chilling out there in the potato salad.
Did y'all hear about that lady that
we're not getting off
her
topic.
chicken with dish soap?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's another reason why I just don't like going to eat everybody's cooking.
No.
That might be another reason why I kept getting sick when I was back in college. I was like, you really do go through a lot of dish soap. Talking about, hey, can you bring me some Dawn over? Like, okay, yeah.
You weren't burping out like no soap bubbles?
Nah, I wasn't like in Willy Walking on the Chocolate Factory or nothing like that. But yeah. But no, I get it. And it's the crazy thing is in the situations we're talking about when it comes to a lot of that stuff, we're talking about strangers. This is someone in the house. You know, this is a wife doing this to her husband and to her daughter and her son. Which goes to a point I've said for many years. Even if you're with somebody, you still don't know what they're capable of. And so I that's why I still think, I always say this, just be careful with, who you share your bed with or you share things with, and because at any given moment somebody could turn on a dime. We've done enough of these cases where people will talk about, in the beginning of the marriage or the relationship, things were great, this and that. Then all of a sudden, Bobby just changed, or Susie just changed up, and this. Listen, I'm telling you, people thresholds for different things, are very different. With some people, somebody let slide one relationship, they may not let slide another one, or they might just say, you know what, I'm tired. They get that. Who was that? Was that Oprah? Oprah on Color Purple. I've been fighting my whole life. But they might just say, like Papa, I studs all I can stand and I can't stand no more. But yeah, so just be careful out there. I don't want to scare nobody, but I'm just saying, yeah, it's just be careful, please, and thank you. Okay, so Ace, what do we have coming up next week? Do you remember? Because you be the judge.
Next week is Shannon Wetzel.
Shannon Wetzel. Shannon
so
Wetzel.
Next week is Angel.
Angel, did you get that? Don't come and tell me what I didn't know. Angel, you're in here on TikTok, so I want to hear that crap. All right. So you best be ready next week, 6 p.m. For you, 5 o'clock, because we don't know what's going on. Okay, you already know. All right, yeah, but you'll probably forget by next week. Anyways,
you heard.
But yeah, like I said, well, I really want to thank Tabitha for joining us and bringing this subject to us. It was definitely fun. Had a lot of fun doing this one. Definitely want to thank everybody for joining us on this episode of the Birdman Show. Like I said, we will be back next week at 6 p.m. Central Time for the case of Shannon Wetzel. But like I said, definitely you can come back and join us tomorrow for the Birdman Show recap right here on TikTok, who got us up to 5.7K on the likes. Awesome job, TikTok. But once again, I want to thank TikTok. I want to thank YouTube. I want to thank Twitch, and for everybody who joined us on these platforms. Like I said, once again, I want to thank Restream for allowing us to have this platform to be able to do this. I'm excited for next week. I'm very happy with tonight's episode. So until we meet again, Birdman, the Birdman Show out. Do it with me. That's right. We out. All right, TikTok. Love you guys. You guys are phenomenal, like always. Like I said, we'll see you guys tomorrow on the Birdman Show recap. Peace.